Hare Krishna. Please pardon my appearance because I didn't think I would be speaking today, so I donned my karmic clothes. Okay, it's working. Yes. Yes, please now. So I want to thank the devotees for attending this wonderful jubilee, the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's Haribol. I'll stand over here. Of course, most of you have seen this photo, and I recall, I'll start from the beginning actually. The devotees from Atlanta, we were like dynamic book distributors, on account of the wonderful energy of Chaudeshna Prabhu, Pragosh, Tupurari, Sura, Swabas, who was our Sankirtan leader. And in this way, we were compensated. Balavanta, the temple president at the time, said to us, "You guys collect super big, and we'll send you to India, see Prabhupada." So, of course, then we did. So, at that time, when we all arrived in Vrindavan, and I recall one devotee by the name of Amogalila, with the dreams, remember him? Right. So Amogalila says, "Oh, we're in Vrindavan, Prabhu. Let's get out. Let's roll on the ground." And he did that. He just rolled out in the dust, and then we followed suit, did the same. But anyway, suffice it to say that we came in and to the temple. We were just all in awe and impressed because the temple was so elegant and opulent as such. But there wasn't a place to stay. So the devotees, we kind of, where do we go? Where do we go? But we wound up going to Focal Ashram, is it? Yeah. And I must say, and I know this is redundant because other devotees before me have likely mentioned this, that there was nothing here. That road, that Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Marg, not just Bhakti-Vedanta, was just two things. The Fogal Ashram, and down the street, they had this Ram temple. And I walked by daily on the way to Fogal Ashram, and they'd be chanting, "Jai Jai 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 Sitaram Jai Jai Radha Sham, Jai 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 Sitaram Jai Jai Radha Sham," continuously, what they call Akhanda Kirtan. And Akhanda Kirtan means continuous, non-stop, as such. So, the devotees were in ecstasy. Like everyone, Prabhupada was just magnificent, I got to see everything. What you're watching in the videos, I saw Bhardaraj painting the lions, and Murlidhar, I think, yes? All the details, and the Brahmins, and and we just had access to Prabhupada. We could see him on a daily basis, you see? So, of course, Prabhupada, prior to that, had visited the temple in Atlanta. But that's another story. Let me not digress too much. I have a tendency to do that. My wife calls me the metaphor man. Go around. But I'll get to the point. So, as you can see here, all the devotees are gathered, the boys and the girls. We all are up here. And if I can show Prabhupada, of course, it's in the center with Madhavisa, and who told me that somebody was pinching him to move over and something like that. And Tamal Krishna Goswami. And this Vaisheshika, and this is not a good picture, but if you see a good photo of it, you see. And I'm sitting in the front row, just 2 rows down from where Govinda Maharaj is sitting. I can show you. That's him right here. Of course, this is Srila Prabhupada, Govinda, and I'm sitting somewhere over here. So, we're in ecstasy. What can I say? It's Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada. We're all young, dynamic boys, going on book distribution. And I coined the phrase, I said, fighting Maya in hand-to-hand combat. So because Sankirtan required quite a bit of tolerance, titiksha karunikam, we had to see these people as spirit soul. I recall going to the airport on a daily basis, and so much so that Prabhupada acknowledged us. I never wrote Prabhupada, but I got a letter from Prabhupada. And because we send them Guru Dakshina from our collection. They said, "My dear Vaishnavananda, Kokika, Karunamuni, thank you for your service. You have my blessings." And that was enough for me. It's just saying the blessings of Prabhupada as such. So, and I like to mention Chaudeshna. He was our mentor. Srila Prabhupada, actually addressed a letter to Rameshwar, I believe, stating, he said, "It is simply wonderful that Chaudeshna Prabhu has distributed 210 big books in one day." You should be clapping, okay? Let's go, let's go. Chowdesh, so sincere. You know, we were there when he passed. My son took care of him to the last minute. And I have his picture on my altar. So, like that. So we were performing this Sankirtan Jagya, this austerity. You know, like Guru Kripa and Manabhata with the boys, you know. I didn't quite make it in this party, but I wound up on Brahma's bus for a week. And Balavanta, he was irate. He says, "You send him back," because I was a little hustler from New York City boy. So as such, I was relentless in my book distribution. And I mentioned Chaudeshna, and I learned, I assimilated much from him. I see he would get up earlier than anyone else, chant his rounds, go in the altar, do his little service, off to the airport before anyone else, and stay later than anyone else. And I wish Pragosh was here, or Vaishashika, or Sura, rest in peace, Sura, his character. But we were doing it. Our incentive was that we firmly believe that to disseminate Krishna consciousness was the order of Srila Prabhupada. You know, and we have heard Prabhupada stated, "If you love me, please distribute my books," something to that effect. And so we believe that. Also, I might add that we knew Srila Prabhupada was reading that Sankirtan newsletter. Does anyone remember the name of the devotee who compiled that letter? I forget his name. Oh, do you know? What's it? Shuddhadev, yes. Okay, Shuddhadev. So we knew Prabhupada was looking at it. And they said, who is this Vaishnavananda? Because I hustled, and I got it for a little time, because there are other devotees that we were competing with in Germany and other places. But did enough. I got on the letter Prabhupada asked, like that Balaram told me. So, trying to keep my thinking together. Getting a little emotional now. But we were just dedicated. You know, we're Srila Prabhupada's little soldiers. Senapati, he's our big general. And as I said already, fighting Maya in hand-to-hand combat. And that means, and don't have time to illustrate some of the stories at the airport, unless you want to hear them, a few of them. Yes? Who said yeah? All right on that. Okay, so I ran into Ted Patrick. Now, you know who Ted Patrick is, right? He is this old black dude who, sorry for the expression, okay? Oh, yes, yeah. Ted Patrick was a man who didn't understand. Actually, in a way, he's fortunate, but he was confronting the Hare Krishna movement, and he was advocating that we were like brainwashed, you see, and deprogramming devotees. And I'm not sure if any of you had experience with that, having some devotees removed from the temple by force, mind you, which is something completely illegal. Nonetheless, he would come on national television and said, he says, "And these people here, they eat right off the ground on wax paper. I wouldn't even have my dog do that." He's a southern guy, as such. So, but I ran into Ted Patrick. So, in the airport, we call them the boys. Hey, the boys are coming. We're at the Atlanta airport. There would be an Eastern, which is no longer in business, Eastern or Delta. Say, let's go. The boys are coming. So, this group of Navy soldiers came through, so I'm giving it. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? Where you coming in from? Whatever. It's all about them. Never talk about yourself. We got the sales tactics, meet and greet. What is it? I forget the word, but you don't ask much, but you interrogate them. You don't. Selling's not telling. So you just listen to them, and in this way you can position yourself to close it as such. So I'm trying to give this boy a Bhagavad-Gita, and here comes Ted Patrick behind, and he says, "Don't look him in the eye. He got mystic power." It's a true story. I said, "Well," and then on that same day, now the boy, he did disrupt the sale, and the boy left. The Navy soldier left as such. But later, I noticed on his way back from somewhere, he had 3 or 4 or 5 books. Chaudeshna got him. As such. So let me now get back to this here. So we're here. I recall the day this photo was taken. some devotees were a little tired, a little dysentery, couldn't make it. Balaram for one, a few others. But most devotees from the Atlanta temple made it. And as I said, I'm sitting in the first row there. There's Vaishnavananda right to the right of me. Keshava, he's sannyasi now. He's over there. But I have a little story to share. Can I? That's it? No, I got to tell the story. Okay. Well, I don't want to sound ostentatious. I'm the first person to get the Bhakti Shastri. It's easy. Okay. But I got to tell the story, but we'll take 2 minutes. So Prabhupada is coming back from his morning walk like this, and he comes over, and there's one devotee, his name is Hari Charana. He's always falling asleep at every function like this. So he decided it was a cool and cold, crisp morning in Vrindavan. He got on there was just dirt floor, muddy. There was no marble like we see now. So Hari Charana put this chadar over his body, and he's lying. Prabhupada's coming back like this, and Prabhupada's like, everything's within the purview of his senses. He noticed that. And he goes, And he turns over and he saunters, slowly walking. And all the Atlanta boys, Maitreya, Chaudeshna, Balavanta, we all standing there. We see Prabhupada coming at us. We're in awe. We just, flat, full body dandavats like that. Except Hari Charana, because he's underneath the chadar sleeping. So Hari Charana, Prabhupada walks up to him and pokes him with his cane like this. And Hari Charana defiantly gets up, thinking, who dares to bother me? And he takes off the chadar like, what? And there before him stands, who else? His spiritual master, his divine grace, A.C. Bhakti-yoga, Swami Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada says to him, do not sleep. There's more, but the police is it. Hare Krishna.